No, the front of Reddit. It'll be the biggest thing of the day. It'll be awesome stuff. So we've talked before about how offense can win games, defense can win games, you know. What are the things
I think if Cox played for iBuyPower, then Gambit would just start blaming Lichinio and there would be nobody there to tell him to stop it. Thanks for the suicide.
We will be going into game number 1. We have Weedham Girlz in the orange and Mockit in the blue. Mockit going to be winning kickoff here right off the bat, and Pashy going to be putting it around, trying to set it up for his teammates. Remco gets the dribble. Great dribbles from Remco. Oh my goodness, and Greasy Meister puts it away. Holy cow.
Oh, if everybody wasn't awake, you are now, partially from us yelling and partially from that play.
I like what you were talking about. We want to see Pashy dribbling it, and Remco's like, guys, I can dribble too.
Well, Pashy and Mystic both just challenged the ball at the same time. Mystic as a goalkeeper there should just wait for Pashy to make the challenge. We'll let Pashy make the challenge because he's coming in.
Right off the bat, we will see if Mockit is able to respond here. Siki going to try and push this one back up into Weedham Girls territory. Set up a ball, kind of whiffs that one. Greasy Meister ends up with ball control, sending it back up to the halfway mark. Now Pashy
who's misinformed?
Back into the corner. Bit of ping pong happening as Remco tries to dribble it out of his own corner. They leave a lot of space for Mystic to take a shot.
Yeah, I'm sure Lichinio's learning a lot, and I think he's got a big future ahead of him in Rocket League. But right now, he causes a lot of problems for his team. And if you wanted to pick the best team right now, you just want a more solid player, somebody who's consistent. That's why I would pick Pluto instead of Lichinio. I think that team would be more solid. But in the future, Lichinio could definitely play more consistently. Is Hot Wheels Sid Canadian? I don't know. I think Hot Wheels Sid desperately needs a name change because Husa is a terrible name. He should just call himself Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels is a cool name. Oh, what a shot though.
Gets it out, the ball was halfway in and he stopped it.
All that set up because
Don't forget Derek Kappa. I think Derek's probably worse than me.
But ended up hitting it back towards his net. Really scary position to be in.
Oh,
no way. Okay, what a dunk.
And then Remco with the follow-up. Holy cow, Weedham Girls is on fire.
Look at the rotations coming through. Greasy gonna go up with Pashy, gets the
Pashy didn't get a very good hit there. He could have cleared that without even risking the dunk if he just hit it forwards.
Following up, he knew where the ball was going to be going. He knew where he needed to be if it didn't go.
Surprised Kings added Sad, not Pluto. I was surprised when they kicked Moses, but then they seem to be doing fine with Sad. Sad's never looked better than he does right now in Kings, because they're kind of letting him do what he wants to do. And in iBuyPower, he was kind of always forced to play around Kronovi.
Just as we expected, Weedham Girls showing why they are one of the #1 teams in this group.
Obviously EU will outclass NA because they have a higher population. Well, there was more people playing in the open qualifier for NA than there were for Europe, so that would suggest that more people are playing Rocket League in NA competitively. I think that the reason EU succeeds more is because as a general player base, they're more self-critical, and like whenever I used to watch all the best American teams, I would just see a lot of post-rationalization and blaming and excuses. Then I would watch the EU top players and listen to them play, and I would hear them, you know, saying, "Oh, I should have done this better. I should have done this better. I should have done this." I think that EU players should take it more seriously. They probably take ranked more seriously as well. See right here, Mystic should be on the back post. He shouldn't be in the net. He should be ready to drive up the wall at the back of the goal if he's needed to. By going in the goal right behind Pashy, he's just doing the exact same job that Pashy's doing. He should just be behind the goal, beside the wall. Sad Fireburner Pluto would be better than the iBuyP roster? Probably not, because you have Sad in one of the rosters. I think Sad's playing well, but I don't think that... I don't know if he can be in the best team in NA ever again. Mystic nearly got a touch on this. What my opinion of Rizzo as a player? I think Rizzo's really, really good. One of the smartest players in North America. Just with regards like rotation and positioning. EU's better because they have more SARP vets. I mean, I'm sure that contributes somewhat, but if you look at other esports, America traditionally struggles to match up with other regions because they don't take ranked games as seriously, and they spend more time messing around and having fun with it and just being like esports personalities rather than tryharding and just getting good at the game. I'm looking at games like League of Legends and StarCraft 2 in particular.
Response on the midfield defense has been amazing from Girlz. They're able to push it back out.
Wow, those pass plays coming
Americans usually get more popular and have better PR and media interaction, but generally EU is able to compete at a higher level. What a dunk by mistake. And I think the main reason is that EU just take ranks more seriously. Yeah, Rizzo's the best player on Mockit NA.
Such strong plays. Meister and Remco really showing why they are part of this squad. And DeBoer coming up strong on defense, being there in the rotation, exactly where he needs it. 59 seconds.
The money's in being an esports personality caster. I don't know if it's in being a caster. It's definitely in being a personality for sure. Good control by Mystic right there. Although I don't like that he was carrying the ball. He made himself very susceptible to getting dunked on. Oh my, you are kidding me. They probably weren't going to come back anyway.
Meister with an excellent clear this time, pushing it very, very far away. Siki going to make another shot, putting it on. This is some great pressure from Mockit.
Yeah, when people call me a tryhard, I'm like, so what? It's a good thing. The only thing that you can control in life is how hard you work and your perspective. They were the two things that you can control.
And that's part of the reason of there being small rotations not coming through. I don't know why there was nobody there to.
So yeah, if you're a tryhard, you're halfway there.
They literally hung there for about 3 seconds.
Just be a tryhard and be positive, and you'll succeed. Internet infrastructure reasons that can hurt NA. You what, mate? That's the worst excuse I've ever heard. That's the worst excuse I've heard today for NA suffering against EU. High amount of people in the US without broadband, same for Mexico. Some of the EU countries are not even considered first world countries. Never mind no broadband.
But it was just so much more effective. They were just, their offensive drives were so strong, and just the counter plays we
Yep, you're right, Heroics. NA's worried about being called tryhards, so they just mess around and they try to be personalities and they freestyle and stream. They're like, look at me, look, I'm so cool. Instead of actually just trying to get good at the game. I'm looking at some popular streamers right now without naming them. But I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about.
First kickoff going to remain pretty neutral right now, pushing over into Mockit's half of the field. Remco going to try to set this one up for DeBoer, who puts it over into the far corner. Now we have Mystic moving up on the wall, across it to the entire lateral side of the field. Nice shot from Remco, going to go near the crossbar, but a good touch from Siki, keeping that one away. Yeah, really good defense there, staying patient, getting up on the wall and taking off.
Like, the amount of players is not the problem. Because if you thought amount of players would indicate who's going to turn out to be the best, then why are China not the best at League of Legends? Why do Korea always win League of Legends? And I mean always, apart from like 1 or 2 tournaments. Internationally, Korea have won everything. America has never won an international League of Legends tournament. Europe, I think, has won like 1 or 2. China might have won 1 or 2, but Korea have won like 80 or 90% of the tournaments that they play in. And they're massively outpopulated by China. And it's just because Korea's work ethic in pro gaming and the acceptance of pro gaming as a cultural thing. Siki shouldn't have driven to the goal there. Why is Siki driving to the goal? He should have hung around at the back post, like I said before about Mystic. Siki should just be at that back post, ready to drive up on the wall if he needs to. He just goes on the goal behind Mystic, who's already in the goal. What the? Okay. Like, the reason why Korea succeed in esports, going back to my previous thought, is because their work ethic is better, they take themselves more seriously, they try harder in ranked, it's cool to be a pro gamer in Korea, is another thing. Like, in the UK, it's not cool to be, like, anything related to gaming. The only games that are culturally accepted in the UK is, like, FIFA and Call of Duty. Oh my... Weedham Girlz are playing really well right now. Has to be said.
Finally getting some look on their side, balls almost squeaking in and not, but expect this team from Weedham Girlz to fly back in, almost getting the touch there.
Yeah, games in NA are looked down on. And that's not the case in countries like Sweden. It's very accepted in Sweden and in Germany to be a pro gamer. But it's not in countries like the US in some places and also in the UK. I'd say especially the UK. The UK is like probably the most
Greasymeister up into that one. Nice touch.
No, it can be one of the countries that looks down on pro gaming and gaming culture more than others.
If there was someone waiting for it, it could have been dangerous, but luckily for him, recognizing where the other players were on the
Well, yeah, sure. They're like culturally, there's cultural differences. Like, there's a reason why Scotland has so many good Rocket League players. It's because football is very popular in Scotland, and PS4 is very popular in Scotland. So lots of Scottish people had the game, or had PlayStation 3s and played the original game, relative to the population size. Like, Korea aren't a thing in Rocket League, so they're all playing League of Legends. And they're all playing Heroes of the Storm and stuff like that, Hearthstone.
2 minutes left in this game, still scoreless. Oh, here's an opportunity for Mockit. Nobody was there.
What? Pinch clear.
Too far back, and they aren't going to be able to score on that drive.
You see both teams on their left-hand side in the face of Mockit, trying to slow down the pace, control it a little bit. And it's just not working.
That's a waste by Mystic. Notice how Mystic just hits the ball away there. And now Weedham Girls have the pressure because they were able to hard clear it over the top after Mystic soft clears it. Oh dear.
That was a pass. That was totally a pass on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's okay if an athlete dedicates their entire life to getting good at a sport, but if somebody does the same thing about an e-sport, then you're considered a loser. It's funny, isn't it?
They have some good mechanics coming out. You see stuff like this.
Nice fake by Pashi.
Oh, that's a shot on net.
Yeah, Dota is again, just, it seems like if Korea take a game seriously, they're the best. If EU and China take a game seriously, they're the next best. And then whatever else is not being taken seriously by those three regions, North America can dominate. That's like generally the case in esports. I think Smash is maybe the one thing that America were the best at, because they were like the only people who played Smash. If anybody's watched the Smash documentary on YouTube, great documentary by the way. I'd commend it to all of you. Very interesting. And I hope that something like that becomes done in Rocket League. I know that C-Hop72 is interested in making that happen. My boy C-Hop.
Patiently, the ball just bouncing from one end to the other across the lateral ways. There's off the backboard. Pashi gonna whiff on that touch. Remco with an opportunity, but Siki with the save, keeping that one out. 45 seconds left.
Yeah, until recently, NA has owned Smash, but I mean, if you watch the Smash documentary, it's pretty obvious why that is the case. It's incredible. Definitely watch it. It's on YouTube. Just this Smash documentary. I think that's what it's called. It's incredible. How much does this game cost? I think it's like 15 buckaroonies. 15 American splinkies, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone in chat. League of Legends has never been NA greater than EU, except in the most recent mid-season invitational tournament, which EU's team didn't even practice for. EU has always been better than North America at League of Legends. EU won the Season 1 World Championships ahead of NA. It was an all-EU final. And in Season 2 Worlds, EU had 2 teams in the semi-finals. North America didn't make it past the quarters. Season 3 Worlds, EU had a team in the semi-finals. NA didn't make it past the quarters. EU knocked out the last NA team from Season 3 Worlds. Season 4 Worlds, I don't think there was any European or American teams in the quarters, in the semis rather. That was probably the one time that NA did equally perform with EU, but they both sucked. Like at Season 4 Worlds, it was just Korean and Chinese dominance. Season 5 Worlds, we had 2 European teams in the semi-finals, no North American teams in the semi-finals. So yeah, Cloud9 upset Alliance, and Alliance dropped a game to Kaboom from Brazil in the Season 4 Worlds. Season 4 Worlds was a train wreck for international competition. Like Korean and Chinese just dominated. But in general, EU have outperformed NA massively in League of Legends. Massively. I don't think NA have ever won an international tournament. Ever. And EU have won several. Have North America even made it to an international tournament finals before this past weekend where CLG got dominated by SKT? I don't know if they have. And I mean, they probably wouldn't have made the finals if SKT didn't throw the groups so hard. I don't know what happened to SKT in the groups. Although CLG, best NA team ever, probably right now. The current iteration of CLG performed very well. Good to see a North American team finally actually playing like a team in League of Legends.
Keeping it try to be in the side, but if that goes out too much further into the middle, it's going to be another mistake from this Weedham Girls team that hopefully Mockit can take advantage of. But a pass like that in the middle, oh, so close. So close on that one.
So it feels to me watching this series, just I haven't been commenting much on it because the chat is talking about other things. Mockit are looking, or I mean Weedham Girls are looking really good, but Mockit are kind of able to deal with what Weedham Girls have to offer if they just don't mix up in defense and go for multiple people, you know, sending multiple people at the same ball. Pashi did really well there to slow down the play enough for his teammates to recover. Like, that was his job. He was just stalling, and he did a really good job. I don't like that pass from Mystic though, it's too easy to intercept. Ah, that should be saved, that's a poor attempt. Why are we talking League of Legends? We were talking esports in general, and North America versus EU. How do they still have notifications enabled on this in the spectator account? It's so dumb. Like, why do they still have notifications enabled? People are like messaging the spectator and adding him, and it's just showing up on the tournament screen.
Trying to carry that one into goal, is not able to get the touch he wants. Great touch from Mystic, leaving that shot at ball at midfield, but there's Remco with a shot.
Yeah, it's totally possible that the best player who will ever play Rocket League doesn't even play the game yet. It just depends on the longevity of Rocket League as an esport. Yeah, Koreans own everybody, that's what I said. Koreans in any game that they take seriously are the best. And then for everything else you have Europe and China being the best, and North America are always losing unless literally nobody else in no other regions play their game. It's just a fact, it's just how it is. It's to do with work ethic and cultural acceptance and just how seriously people take the game.
Very close to dunking it. Here's another opportunity if DeBoer can get onto that one. Pashi gets most of it and clears it to the other half of the field. Coming up here on halftime.
No, okay, good. I was like, don't aerial, but that's actually really good by Pashi. Jumping, he's jumping to make Greasy back away from him because Greasy's afraid of an aerial. So it's really good play by Pashi. Well, the first jump was. The second jump is maybe unnecessary. Except for Call of Duty. Well, yeah, but who plays Call of Duty? Korea? Nope. China? Nope. Europe? No. All of the big COD teams are NA.
Pashi's had that ball as near their goal, but Remco able to clear it out there. See if they're able to do it. They're able to press.
Yeah, the RLCS stream had an Apple update. I saw that on Reddit. That was so funny.
Or sloppy defense that has Mockit in the hole right now.
I don't think it's either. I think these guys are just being a little bit more hesitant towards the ball. You see the pace of the game slowing down significantly. The ball coming up through these.
I wonder if Brazilian teams will be good at Rocket League because they're good at football.
Have a lot of time to play with it if they'd like to. They just choose not to, and they just hit it right back to the other team.
The entire Mockit lineup being in the goal there is worrying. They keep doing this where they're just all in the goal at the same time, or they have multiple people inside the goal instead of spreading themselves out more, covering more angles. But they are a good defensive team, Mockit. They're good at parking the bus in their goal line and just making it difficult for other teams to score on them. And then they rely on, you know, Pashi's individual skill and Mystic's aerial dominance to get goals, which is fine. You're from Brazil and you suck at it, therefore my point is proven wrong, right? I'm not like an esports connoisseur, I only know certain esports. I know the biggest esports titles, that's really all I've ever played. League of Legends, StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm. Although I never really followed Heroes of the Storm as a pro scene, so you can leave that one out. What a finish. Mystic's an aerial beast, by the way.
Pashi brings us in. I thought he brought it too far, but look at that angle. Coming back, rotating his car's axis to the left and getting.
Do I play League? Not anymore. I used to be Diamond 1 in League in Season 3. But I don't play it anymore.
Mystic didn't care. He was able to dunk it away anyways. What a great play. There's another shot. Greasy Meister, you're going to be able to get in the way of that one. Keep it out. Tie game. We might have overtime for a second game here. Gonna try and push that one up. There's Remco with a shot at midfield. Mystic, though, with a
notice right here, Wavepunk is the play-by-play caster, but the color caster right there just came in, chimed in with, "Oh, what a shot!" And I really love that because it kind of shows that you can be really adaptable with the casting roles in Rocket League. Just have two people who are good at both, I feel, is a really good format. You can still have one of them assigned as the main color caster, one of them assigned as the main play-by-play guy. But it can really blend together. It doesn't need to be such a strict thing as other esports, in my opinion, because Rocket League is just too fast to have strict roles in casting. Like, talking over each other is okay. I actually wasn't sure about that, but I was talking to Lawler recently, and he was telling me that they were actually encouraging the casters to just get hyped and talk over each other. Not like deliberately interrupt each other, but just like, if you see something that excites you or interests you, just like say it, even if the other caster is talking. It's okay to both be talking at the same time. I wasn't aware of that until I talked to Lawler, and that's what they've been getting taught by their on-site casting lessons.
Sets it up in the middle of the field. See, Mystic takes a shot, but DeBoer with the save.
That was a very good flick. Almost the opportunity from DeBoer, trying to save it, and he does. That could have been scary, but look at these teams demoing each other back and forth. Remco with a crucial save, but Pashy. Oh my
Remco
gosh.
again, but he's going to push it in, and there's going to be the game number 3 going to Mockit.
Good to get a body in front of it, and it's going to be a scary position.
DeBoer's just too slow there. I think DeBoer was waiting for the boost, and Remco's trying to pass it to him, and DeBoer was just too slow.
Coming in way too slow, and Sicky's able to follow it up. My apologies there.
You know, I feel like
I didn't speak to them, Snasky. How did you guys beat them? I didn't even watch.
Ball control, they've been able to keep everything in their hands, but the last 2 games we've seen Mockit come out on top. What is changing?
Who was even playing? Was it Kalen, Killer, and Sebedum or something?
Playing well, and their passes have been on point, but there's a couple of them where you see the passes are being with intent to the other player, like Greasy to Remco, Remco to Greasy. Even DeBoer's getting in there. It's just Mockit's finally reading some of those and stopping some of those.
See what happens.
I heard you guys won ESL, which isn't surprising, Snasky. Good to see you guys playing more tournaments.
We have Mockit still in the blue and Girlz in the orange. What are your thoughts on this map?
I love it. Yeah. I love the little beep beep. I know you guys all like the beep beep.
What's the beep beep for?
With the train and everything too, there's just so much ambiance. I love it. Sets the stage really well.
We have Mockit on defense here.
What is the beep beep for? I don't understand the beep beep. I thought it was a mistake the first time that I heard it. I was like, oh lol, somebody left a beep on. Remco moving forward there, like we just saw, doesn't really make it any easier for himself. You've been invited to a Steam group. The beep is the overlay. But why does it beep? I don't get it. Why does it make a beep? The game counters update. Okay. The game win gets added under the team name.
Like look at Pashy just toying with it back and forth, trying to get one out. But when that happens and the ball gets put in a 50-50 straight up, it's going to leave a team like Girlz that's so strong in aerial game to come out and just push it back into the way that they want it.
Remco and DeBoer set up in a position.
I love how Remco's always looking to control the ball in defense.
Whiff on that touch there, that's going to leave Mockit with ball control at midfield. Just a shot off the backboard. If anyone can follow this up, Greasy.
What touch by Greasy? So important to get that to the side, not letting it bounce off his backboard.
Offensive pressure coming out from Mockit here in game number 4.
Yeah, they're playing a lot better. Still a little bit of hesitation that I'd like to see them be a little bit
ESPN usually have beeps? Oh, okay. I guess that makes it a little bit more acceptable.
The pace of the game that they're so used to controlling just isn't there as much as we saw it, especially in that first game.
And Mockit is running and is interfering with the offense of Girlz really well. Every time we've seen a nice setup start to materialize for Girlz, a Mockit player is able to get up and into that, block the shot, kind of stop the pass, keep it out, and that's what's been able to keep them up here on the offense. Here's Pashy 90s crossing that one to midfield, no one there to dunk it away.
How did that get missed over there? That wall hit looked really basic and somebody just whiffed it.
Pass it off to Remco there, but I didn't like how Remco cleared it. There was nobody around him. Take some time and dribble it up the field. Your team can then work as a group as they position up, and then you can.
Here, Snasky, what other good teams were in ESL? Besides you guys, was it just like easy wins? Did you even lose a game?
Set up for Greasy Meister or Remco, but it's not going to happen again. Mockit, Siki able to get up into the way of that one and keep that offensive from materializing. Now DeBoer back on defense, gonna try and clear this one out again. There's been a lot of ping pong, a lot of back and forth. Neither team really committing to an offensive just yet. Ball still just kind of hanging around in midfield. DeBoer trying to go for the interference there, but was going to whip that one. Ball over into the Weedham Girls half.
I don't like that DeBoer left that ball.
Can anyone get up and into this one? No,
He made that really dangerous for his team by leaving that ball. Probably should have tried to rebound it. I think he was probably low in boost as well, though. DeBoer wasting boost in the midfield previously.
Look at Remco just going ham. He's doing everything. That pinch on the wall, tapping it yet again, beating another player, going and contesting it. He's doing everything he can to keep this Mockit team out of their net.
All the known teams lost to random teams. It's funny.
Everywhere you can see him just all over the place and try and push that ball out. Here comes Greasy Meister from the back, able to put it off the top wall. See if he can get it to Remco. Bounces it around. Where's DeBoer? He's staying in all the way in the back right now. Pashy and Mystic carrying that one. That was ridiculous.
Wow, ridiculous. And a complete waste of boost that resulted in zero pressure. It was impressive but pointless.
Sometimes when you recognize a teammate having boost, and he might have called that with communication like, man, I'm out, tag in, like something like that, you never know.
Yeah, Pashy just getting red there. Greasy knew he was just pretending. Yeah, Pashy can't really let that happen. His touch forward just getting intercepted by Greasy, and then the clear getting passed straight back to Greasy as well. Like, sometimes it's okay to fake that you're gonna go for a little aerial and bait people to back off, but if you do it every time, like Pashy maybe does it too much. So right there, he just got intercepted because he refused to jump up in the air. I'm always blunt and honest, Snasky. I don't sugarcoat anything. Of course, when I'm casting, I'm a little bit different because I feel like your job as a caster is different to, like, my job right now is just to be blunt and completely honest about everything. Like Mystic moving off his line there, not identifying the threat from DeBoer, getting punished. Mystic was moving forward there, putting far too much faith in Siki to come out of that 50-50 well, and he got punished because he didn't identify the threat that was DeBoer. But like I was saying, when you're casting, it's your job to hype up the event as much as possible, hype up the teams as much as possible. You don't need to lie and say, oh yeah, both these teams are the best teams in the world, they're both playing amazing. This is the best lineup we have ever seen in a Rocket League tournament. You don't need to lie, but it's still your job to, like, you know, to your best of your ability, you know, hype it up. Paint both the teams in the best light possible, paint all the players in a good light. Like, if you're going to criticize somebody, say, like, this is, you know, this isn't what we expect to see from a player of his caliber or something like that, or, you know, he's not going to be happy with this because we're used to seeing him perform much better than this. Just always do it in a context that makes the players and the teams in the tournament look good. But when you're doing what I'm doing here, you can just be honest and say, I think this player sucks, if you do. I don't think any of these players suck, though. I think they're all very good players. All deserving of their positions in their respective teams.
That is going to be game number 4, going to Weedem Girls. Weedem Girls coming out again. Now we have a 2-2 going into game 5. Pretty even series.
Is Stocky a starter for C&J? No, he's been released.
Mockit's got a chance. They didn't really show it that game.
He struggled when he joined C&J to blend in with their players. He struggled to mesh with them.
They're contesting and the ball's going straight up, but you don't see that follow-through pressure that would translate that into some offense for them. They just haven't had it.
We'll see what happens moving forward into Game 5. Where are we going to be map-wise?
We're going to Beckwith Park Midnight. Beckwith Park Midnight? Spooky, scary.
It's so dark here.
Spooky, scary.
Around, man.
Well, Game 5, though, this is what we want.
Which esport has the best casters and who are they? I think that... well, I don't really watch all the esports, but the good old Tasteless Artosis combo in StarCraft 2 was a joy to watch. I love those two. Great casting combination. But yeah, StarCraft 2 had some great casters. Like, there was an English guy, what was his name? What was his name? He used to be a Command and Conquer champion in like some tournament. I don't know. What was his name? Rubbish. And then of course Joe Miller and D-Man from ESL. They used to cast League of Legends. I don't know if they do now. I don't think they do. But they were fantastic. Monte Cristo Doa from League of Legends OGN are brilliant. All the Riot casters are pretty good for League of Legends LCS. Apollo, yeah, Apollo, he was good. I loved Apollo. And Day9 obviously is a great caster. He's just a great guy generally, just really interesting and fun to listen to. We've seen this game. Well, yeah, this is a VOD, mate, so it's not live.
Single player plays are keeping this advantage for them.
Siki gonna try and dribble this one out. They've got it over to Weedham Girls territory. Mystic gonna pass to Siki, who's gonna try and take a shot, but he just...
Yeah, I've never watched any FPS games very seriously, or any any Dota, so I don't know any of those casters. But League of Legends, StarCraft 2 are two esports titles that I followed pretty well. You know, Greasy did turn off ball cam there, and he's trying to dodge DeBoer, but they both turned the same way.
Oh, Remco finally gonna make up for the whiffs he had earlier and put Weedham Girls on the board.
Look at Remco get up on this one. Takes a tap inside with the help of Greasy, and Remco already in the air. That's what these teams on Weedham Girls do. The teammates are always in sync with each other, and it seems to keep coming out over and over again. No wonder they're in the top position.
3:13 left to play. 1-0 in favor of Weedham Girls. They are threatening to take the series. Here's Pashy going for the dribbles. You might get what you wanted here. Setting the ball.
What are you on about,
No
Heroics?
longer does Pashy play on this field. He will be spawning back in his own territory as Remco's able to push this out. Great play there from Remco to Greasy Meister.
Oh, Stev and Money are outclassed? Yeah, probably.
Pashy getting in luck there. It's not exactly what I wanted.
I think J-Ra as well looked pretty shaky. Although I hear he's like you know, big part of that team's in-game communication and mentality maintenance. Yeah, I just leave the casting on for some background noise so it's not a massive silence every time I'm not talking. Plus, I like to listen to what they have to say. And the game sound is also useful.
Pashy is not able to shoot accurately onto that one. There's Pashy gone again. Greasy Meister able to push this one up. Mystic coming from the backfield, rotating because his teammate was demoed. Great rotations coming out from Mockit.
Yeah, a lot of ball chasing actually coming out from Greasy.
Oh, you're coaching Vex. I didn't know that.
Being able to set up plays like this are why they're so strong. What a play there!
It's really good positioning by DeBoer. This is like the old standard attack formation. You just have one guy centering the ball off the wall and the other guy right behind him ready to pounce on it. So pretty much the bread and butter to a 3v3 goal right there.
All three players there on Mockit just standing still in like a weird formation staring at
Jay makes strat changes. Oh dear. That should be saved.
Falling apart. This shot wasn't even that much of a pace to it, but he gets up in head, gets over Sicky, and that's why Passion.
Oh dear. Mystic just caught out again. He's not paying enough attention to threats that are incoming. Yeah, Garrett's a beast. I'm very impressed by Garrett. Not so much on defense. I think Turtle's the best defensive player on Vex. But Garrett's the best defensive player. And J-Ra's the worst player, I guess. Well, I think Maestro's probably the weakest and most replaceable player on Weedham Girls. That's a crazy 50-50, by the way. What on earth? You think DeBoer is way more defensive than Maestro? Well, Maestro is always cheating forward, looking for redirects and rebounds and aerials. And DeBoer is more grounded because he just, you know, he was always quite defensive when he played for Swarm. So it's a new look for Weedham Girls for sure, because Remco is quite a defensive player. Greasy's very aggressive. So you've now got two defensive players in Remco and DeBoer, and having another defensive player maybe lets Remco, you know, do his thing a bit more.
grip on the ground, was able to continue to create horsepower moving it forward, you know, instead of the guy who's airborne who's just going to kind of get pushed out of the way. Mystic with an opportunity there to score to start the comeback.
Yeah, I could make the chat stay on the screen longer.
Would be quite the story of the
I could do
day.
that.
If they were able to pull this off, Remco's going to try and make it 5, and he's going to do it.
Way to curse. I mean, talking about a comeback.
Let's
awesome,
double it.
I don't think Remco has any
There we
plans
go.
for that. Ball just taking a weird touch off.
It'll
the
have to
ball.
reconnect
Usually
now.
you want somebody there to follow it up. Not happening. Easy shot.
Yeah,
for
Garrett's
Remco.
very good at reading the backboard, very good at aerials, very good at air rolling to get favorable hits when he is in the air.
It was good for his team, and right now the 5-0 is absolutely it. 53 seconds left to go. What does
Yeah,
Mockit need to
I mean,
change here?
Greasy's not the best defender,
This is sad.
and I think Maestro is not the best. Well, Maestro can defend, but he's just in threes, he plays very aggressively.
You see, okay,
He's
passing
the most aggressive player.
He went to the corner boost. Yeah, was not there.
And Remco's kind of left alone, but every time Remco's not at the back for We Dem Girlz, they kind of don't look as good. Or they don't look as solid. Is Scrub still with Mockit? Yeah, he's in a team with Flarky, Bipod, and Woody. Formerly me, but I've stepped down because I don't play enough anymore. I benched myself.
Yeah, especially when you're just needing to cover the
Because I felt like I didn't play enough to merit a spot on that team. Also because I just didn't have the time anyway.
Enough to play at least the first, few seconds of defense you need. 30 seconds
Between all the
is
coaching and
plenty of
casting that I
time
do.
for We Dem Girlz to create the notorious 7-1. We'll see if they're able to move that forward right now. DeBoer's got a dribble here, but Pesci able to clear that one away, keep that off. Remco trying to keep the offensive going. Greasy Meister with great touches. The ball lost in front of the goal.
3v3 all-star team, no players from the same team.
Final countdown
Marky,
happening.
Scrub, and
Greasy gonna
Gambit.
pass that one out, crossing all the way to the other side of the field. Remco with a nice touch. Final, we'll see if anyone can touch this. At this point, that game is going to be over, and we're going to have We Dem Girlz taking the series 3-2.
Yeah, really smart play, just letting it settle. Insult to injury, there's no point. Just let it settle, take the win. Go
But yeah, what a one-sided game at the end there.
Sure.
Just a big collapse. Mystic leaving the goal open. Whenever Mystic was last man back, he didn't look very solid.
Sides right.
Bad rotations in and around the goal by Mockit, EU as well. They're all just driving into the net a lot. They don't have any momentum when they try and clear it.
What did you guys think about that one?
Let us do our jobs. We are here to do that. Big win for We Dem Girlz. Well, I'll tell you what here, Gibbs. I mean, Mockit went up 2-1, both overtime wins. We Dem Girlz come back and show why they're number one.
Yeah, DeBoer was the wild card.
How much are Rocket League blowouts in pro games caused by vast difference in skill? How much is caused by one team going heavy offense to try and catch up? It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. I mean, that was probably just Mockit trying to catch up. Flashiest team in Rocket League, I bet Power.
Got him involved on the offensive side.
Which might not be a bad thing. I mean, you've got these two guys that do so well together, so interjecting a third player a little bit too much might interrupt that. So it was actually really good that in that first game, Greasy and Remco were still able to do what Greasy
Best air dribbler. Here's one for you.
that security. He was there
Best air dribbler. Lee Rays from Japan. Bet you didn't see that coming. Lee Rays from Japan.
Well, for the moment,
Best
We Dem
Japanese
Girlz
player.
on top of the table here in the group stage. Let's take a look at the replay. The highlights of this one, a 3-2 win by We Dem Girlz.
And so
But best
it looks like we were
known
able
air
to
dribbler,
be
probably
able to
Gambit.
to a pass, like as you were saying, team plays from Remco and Greasy.
And Scrub's also very good at off-the-wall air dribbling. Scrub killer.
But Remco, the dribs.
Yeah, I mean, We Dem Girlz had a
Yeah, I think Mystic needs to be a lot more patient in defense. He's leaving the goal too early, and he tries to move forward too early. And when he's last man back, he's challenging at the wrong times. And right there, Mystic again is just too close. He's looking to get forward too early, which he doesn't need to do, because if he gives himself more space, he can do things like that and score goals.
had the skill. I mean, they had some really good shots on net.
And right there, we just saw mispositioning. He's like too far off the line, and he's like caught underneath the ball
What I
again.
was surprised about was Mockit actually didn't bring that physical game.
Hey, thanks for the host, Dapper.
We didn't see a lot of demos.
Appreciate it,
from
man.
Pesci. Like he has a highlight from the first week of group stage where he had 9 demos in one game. We didn't see a lot of demos from him.
9 demos in one
Yeah,
game.
9 demos in one.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I said I bet Power is the flashiest team. Lachinio's a living montage,
About the game that they're used to.
which isn't always a good thing
Girls kinda play what
in
they
Pro
do.
Rocket League.
Especially since they were using a sub, they probably should have taken a little more advantage of the fact that there was going to be a little more hiccups.
It's good to hear, Unorthodox. It's good to hear
Well, We Dem Girlz,
that
3-2
this is helping
win.
someone.
By the way, Kapow, 4-1.